don't know why you think that. Guys, welcome back to the Frame100 podcast, the show often imitated. I can't speak right now. It's been a while since I've been here, but never duplicated. I am your host. Shut up, Tom Austin, aka Frame5 Studios. Yes, that's right. The God is back. With a room filled with talented directors that won't shut up. We've got Tom from Scorched Bricks. How you doing, buddy? And we have Matt from Bricktail Studios back once again with us. How you doing, buddy?
How you doing, guys? I'm doing pretty well.
And we've got Trev from Suited Ninja Nerd Productions. What's up, man?
Yeah, stutter included. How's it going, everybody? It's your boy back at it again with the white bricks.
With the white bricks, that's nice. Shout out to everyone in chat: Star Wars Studio 100, Beta Bricks Production, Menace Bricks Studio, and all the others that will be coming into chat. Hello, and
I just realized I'm gonna shoot out the link to people because Chris isn't here to do that today.
That's true. That's true. Chris is out and about doing.
I knew we had that guy around for some reason.
Yeah, and Jared's not here either.
Out graduating right
now.
now.
Yeah, my best friend is actually graduating right now. He was graduating from Geneva College. So yeah, I forgot this was the week.
Shout out to all those grads.
Yeah.
Our very own Chris.
Yeah. Wait, Tom, when do you graduate?
Tomorrow. The 10th of July.
Okay.
Wow,
so
you still got a ways to go.
We're gonna have a special graduation stream for Tom.
Hopefully that should not only mean his graduation from college, but a lot more free time to brick film.
Yes.
Yeah, boy.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that Troy Purdy thing as well, where he goes up to get his diploma and he just.
Yeah. There you go. But everyone, before we get into the action, but I do want to say happy, Revenge of the 5th. But it was an even better May the 4th, with two. Honestly, I think I can. This goes without saying. 2 out of the 3. No. 2 out of the 4 most anticipated films of 2017 and 2018 were released yesterday. And honestly,
Travis did an update, to be honest.
That's true. Three major releases yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, guys, I think they were probably.
Oh, what's he gonna say?
The best.
Oh, no.
I was talking about this with Matt earlier today. I was like, it has been a while since, and guys, you know me, I don't really mind defending people, but I told him, I was like, I haven't seen a really good brick film in a long time, and having 2 come out on the same day, I was like, oh my god, like, just please, like, so much yes, but we don't want to take away from other things. We have to talk about Trev's latest installment of the My Unlucky-ish Life series, episode 5. Honestly, is my favorite episode he's released so far.
Yeah, you and everyone else.
We will get into that in a little bit, and we will save any kind of updates about what we're all up to. We'll save that for the end. But let's just get right into it. And I think it's only fair to start with Gareth Pugh's hit film, Squad 42. Disillusion.
Sorry,
otherwise known as Austin blowing out my ears.
Yes,
that shit was lit.
It was.
Deserves the glasses.
Matt played a pretty. I wouldn't say he definitely played a minor role in the production of that. Additional 3D modeling and some CGI came from Matt. So Matt, if you want to talk about your involvement in the project.
So this has been really cool, and honestly, nothing short of a huge honor to collaborate with Gareth a little bit on this project. He came to me a couple times looking for some different 3D models that he didn't have time to model himself, and because this is a guy I've looked up to, for pretty much almost a decade now, I think. I was absolutely more than happy to do that. And so a lot of the stuff you see, mainly vehicles and stuff, everything, like a lot of stuff, like even down to the there's in one of the opening shots there, you see a panel with like a hologram of like different ships kind of rotating around there. Those are actually models that I created for him. I wasn't sure what he was going to do with it. You know, that's the thing. I was pretty much in the dark on all of this, and it was really cool to see what he did with some of that stuff. I would say, hands down, my favorite thing, like from watching this, was the scene at the end there with the gunship.
Yeah.
So he asked me for a Republic gunship model. And I'm like, all right, sweet. I can happily oblige you there. You know, I already have one ready for, for 0 hour. And, I thought, what can I do to make this cooler? And so big shout out to Chris Productions on YouTube. I actually saw that he had designed a pair of fog lights using like Lego City plane jet engines. He designed these for just kind of any gunship. And I fitted them on, the older model, I think it was, of the gunship. And it just turned out looking great. And I'm like, you know what? I got to send this one to him too, because he didn't ask for this. I asked, like, do you want the ball turrets with or without, the closed doors? What do you want? He said, do both. So I ended up giving him the fog light version too, hoping that he would do something cool with it, because that's a total throwback to the Clone Wars, the Umbara arc. And that was just the coolest thing that he could have done with that. What a way to close everything out, just with the fog lights basically blinding you as the gunship turns toward that maintenance corridor that the camera's sitting in.
That is the best arc from the Clone Wars TV show, by the way. Well, one of the best. It's definitely top 3.
Funny enough, that's not the one I immediately think of when you say the headlights. I think of the one where they break the Jedi and Tarkin out of prison.
You know what?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true. Actually, yeah, and actually, that was Chris's mock. Actually,
Citadel Rescue.
Yeah, the Citadel Rescue. He did the Wolf Pack gunship with the fog lights. So all around, very cool. Thank you for the inspiration, Chris. That was very cool. And just it was a tremendous honor to be a part of this project in whatever way I could.
Yeah, it definitely. I was honestly going into it though. I was a little bit skeptical because I've never was a huge fan of CGI made brick films. I always thought that to be a little bit cheap, but since it was Gareth, I was like, "There's no way he's gonna mess this up," and of course he didn't. Ended up making it like one of the best films that I have seen in a very, very long time. And it for those of you guys, I know a lot of people who really watch the Frame100 podcast and a majority of its hosts. Hang on, Trev.
No, I'm one of the people that watches.
Oh, yeah.
He ruined the show. Dang, he ruined the show.
A majority. I ruined everything. Go to your room. It's like I don't know. It just for those of you who do a lot of like comedy related films, and just those of you who are like looking to dabble into more serious like films, this is the kind of film that should definitely, be an example to what a really well put together dramatic but yet cinematic film looks like. It was by far like I honestly like towards the end of the film, I just was like I definitely grew some kind of like attachment to the young Jedi Padawan. And I was so surprised that, the leader of Squad 42, killed Rook to save her. And one of the lines I will never ever forget was when he was like, I know who I fight for. I never forgot. That scene is my favorite scene in the entire film.
Absolutely. Like this was a dramatic conclusion to the Squad 42 story arc.
Yeah.
I really liked the use of the Palpatine line as well at the start. That
was a great touch. Like the whole all the ambience that was put into those first like the first minute of the film there, everything down from again just it looked and felt and sounded like Coruscant post Order 66.
Shout out to whoever did the music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
music
have
is
a composer
good.
working for him because that sounded
Yeah.
fantastic, and it matched up.
Trev, what'd you have to say?
Well, what I was gonna say was, I had mentioned actually to these guys yesterday after watching it that, like, honestly, had there not been the whole Finn story arc from the new trilogy where he converts from the dark side to the light, this film would have like literally been pretty legendary, to be honest. Yeah, like the whole story arc of like changing sides is definitely like something that people toy around with a lot, and it was done pretty spot on in Squad 42. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and I think though that like me, Tom, and I don't mean this in any way to separate anyone, but like but especially me and Matt, who grew up as the Squad 42 series was being released, I think we have such a deep appreciation just for the film itself. Forget about what happened. It's just like, like honestly, our childhood uh and our inspiration for making our early Clone Wars films was from watching these. And so to have one literally like 10 years later is pretty astounding. It just I spoke to Gareth earlier today, and I just was like, thank you for putting, like such positive vibes back into the brick filming community, and more importantly, like the Star Wars brick filming sect of films. But I can't say enough good things. I couldn't find really a flaw in the film at all. And me, I love to point out flaws. Aside from, like I would comment on the walk cycle, but since it's CGI, I can't because I'm so bad at CGI. Matt is the resident CGI expert among us in this group. So no, I totally all good things to say about Squad 42.
actually, on that note, I'll interject here and say that yeah, my only criticism with it was that some of the motion and it was a bit slower than what I think would have looked
kind of see
better.
what you're saying. I kind of see what you're saying. I don't know though. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah, but again, it's CGI. It's a lot harder to do. I definitely could not do it. So really, like looking past that, there's not much, if anything, bad to really say about the film.
Yeah.
actually
I wanted to
one of,
say.
oh,
Oh, go
yeah,
ahead,
you
Tom.
go back, you go back.
Okay, so I was going to say, again, the thing that just floored me the most about this was just seeing again, like let's not forget, it has been 7 years, probably more than that, since we have seen these characters in action. To see them again like this was really the ultimate nostalgic experience for a brick filmer. And
one who's been around that long anyway.
exactly. And see, like, and that's the thing, we're talking about, the stylization of this as a CGI an all CGI brick film. We talked about this many weeks ago about whether or not, we could consider something like this a true brick film. Because there are guys out there like Dino 5500 who do, CGI Lego animations. And really it's just, Lego minifigures used as the character models for, whatever it is that they're creating. I think some of his newer stuff has a little bit more Lego to it. But, back to Squad 42, honestly, I think what really makes me feel like I want to accept this, because again, Gareth is pioneering something here, because we have not seen anything quite like this since, really since, the Lego movie, Lego Batman movie, Lego Ninjago movie, Lego's decision to stylize their CG movie, to look like stop motion. And that's what Gareth's done here. And because of that, it pays respect to, the stop motion, ways of doing things that, I really do want to be able to lump it in with just, regular old brick films there, because and I'm part of me, I'm really curious as to how he actually went about doing that, because I don't think that he just cut the frame rate, you know, in Cinema 4D to 15 frames per second. I could be wrong, but yeah, you know, he must have some kind of technique there, because it really did feel like stop motion to me. You know, everything down to the walk cycle.
Yeah.
You know, all of the frames were
Why-
there, and if you took a smooth motion, you know, in your you're in Blender or Cinema 4D, your project file, it looks smooth, and then for the final render, you cut the frame rate down to 15. It's not going to look perfect like that. It's just going to look like a choppy animation. So he did something there so that it would reflect the look of a brick film. And, you know, it could have been, you know, maybe he applied a script to it, you know, to kind of, you know, do that, but automate it effectively. But the care that was taken to make it look like that, it really pays, you know, homage to stop motion. And, you know, and again, the thing is, I'm sure that if Gareth could, he would have done as much of this as he could in stop motion.
Oh yeah,
But
for sure.
again, he's just, you know, too indisposed to be doing, you know, that kind of thing. You know, he's got a, you know, pretty sweet job. I think he landed at his alma mater, so that's nice. But, you know, jobs take time, and, you know, CGI can be easier to put together, you know, quickly like this. You know, that's why you don't see too many exclusively stop motion movies made anymore.
Yeah, and I agree, and although I think what makes Gareth, I think why I'm not saying that we let Gareth off the hook for making a CGI brick film, but I think the reason why we're so okay with it is just because, you know, we're talking about one of the people, I don't want to say one of the founding fathers of the current community, but just because of his place in the community and where he's been over the years, that any sort of work from him, whether it's not stop motion or not, because he's made live action films and other things that I've seen, and the feeling is the same regardless of what medium he's working in, and getting to know him as a person. I know Matt knows him pretty well. I know him to an extent. And so, you know, when you get to know someone on a level outside of their work, same for, like, we're going to talk about Dead Space in a minute, but like same for Dead Space, like watching Dead Space, like, okay, it was a genuinely like fun film to watch. I was watching it while I was actually I was at the doctor's office, and I saw that it came up in my subscriptions, and they're like, "Can you put your phone away?" I'm like, "Can you wait like 3 minutes because I need to finish this?" But no, but like also like I have I have a really good relationship with Tom, and even though the film took a lot longer than I think any of us wanted it to, when when it came out, like, I just was like it was definitely not just a victory for him and an accomplishment for him, but I kind of feel like it was an accomplishment like for me too, just because I was involved in that process a good bit, and some other people were. So like to see films that you either have a hand in, or by friends that you've known for a while, to have those things come out, whether they'd be in any medium, is always a really good thing. So props to Gareth once again. I've said it to him so many times on Twitter. His Twitter's blowing up. If you guys have Twitter, go blow up his Twitter, and give him all the support possible, because he definitely deserves it. And Gareth, if you get around to watching this later after you've done whatever you're doing in your personal life, thank you so much for being a inspiration to pretty much everyone in this room right now, in this chat room, and this definitely me, Matt, Tom, and all the other hosts as well. Cannot wait to see what you do down the road. Trev, do you have anything you want to add? And Tom?
Yeah. I've so there is a scene. I've watched this tiny little clip of Squad 42 over and over again to see if he actually did what I think he did, and I actually think he did it. I'm going to explain what he did. And you may or may not have noticed this, but if he did this deliberately, then it's, for me, yes, it's a CGI film, but it's not CGI, because what he does is the commander picks up the lightsaber off the floor. And I'm pretty sure when the lightsaber goes into the hand, like an actual Lego figure, it sort of clicks in.
I'm gonna watch it now. Now I'm gonna
Yeah.
just go watch it.
And I saw that.
You're
and I was
right,
like,
Tom.
that is,
I'm pretty
that is
sure you're right.
unbelievable. Like that attention to detail, right there. I was like, this is literally. He has just redefined a new level, like a different medium of brick filming.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, so I think I'll just, straight up pose the question to you guys. Do we consider, because I think before the consensus was no on just CGI Lego films in general, but this one specifically, do we call this a brick film? I think
Absolutely.
I would, yes.
I would absolutely.
99%. Yeah.
I
the whole
would.
nostalgia thing of like, yeah, it's nice. It's good to see these characters back in. We have literally, if you think about it and you go back and watch the content, yeah, the Squad 42s are classics, but we've never seen the characters looking and having been animated this well, literally
Yeah,
ever. Like,
that's true.
this is the best we've ever seen them. I'm like hoping against everything that he makes a sequel to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, that's why I'm so interested in how he accomplished the look of stop motion in CG, because what it might come down to is possibly even that he posed all of that basically he posed the CG characters pretty much the same way that you would
Then took a picture.
with physical Lego. And if that's the case, I think we can totally call that a brick film.
Yeah. Then yeah.
Without any shadow of doubt.
Brick film, indefinitely. Trev, what's up?
What?
Oh, yeah, he's spaced out. He's spaced out.
Yeah. No, I didn't have. I didn't have anything more to say about it. But
I really enjoyed
yeah,
the tone.
I mean,
It reminded me,
great.
like one of my sort of like not like quipes or something, but with the Clone Wars was the story arc at the end when they basically said, "Oh yeah, the reason the clones killed all the Jedi was because they had chips in their head." I didn't really like that so much, but this the tone and style of this film really reminded me of the Republic Commando books, and I really like the clones being conflicted about killing the Jedi and stuff like that. I think he absolutely hit out of the park. We could say it for the next like 40 minutes or whatever, just continually say how well he's done. It's for me flawless film.
Yeah, no, all right. With that being said, we'll wrap it up to the second most anticipated film of 2018, and
Dead Space.
That is your boy Scorched Bricks' Dead Space.
Yeah, but what about Dead Space?
I don't know, man. I don't know, but
I'm looking at it right now.
I'm still waiting for 0 Hour to be
pretty,
honest.
man.
Okay. I'm gonna executively kill these memes right now.
Please
No more.
Please do.
If anyone ever does this again, I will just unsubscribe and block you. I just will do that. Just done, and I'll make.
Just before we jump into this, actually, I'm just gonna a little segue. So, Dead Space was actually the opening film in a series of brick films being published this month. For that hasn't said it to the start for some reason. Whatever. Basically, Brick-a-Brack's doing a Star Wars Celebration Month, and every day for the next 20 days from now, someone is releasing a Star Wars brick film. So I will post a link to the playlist. Definitely check it out. Got some big names doing some stuff. The film that came out today was a trailer recreation for Solo. It was really cool, really fun.
Is that Huxleyberg? If I can talk.
Yeah. I believe so.
Okay, yeah, I've been seeing it. It's been popping up for me a lot, so I have yet to watch it. But
definitely go and check that out, guys. That's really cool. So we can jump in now.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
So
I hated this film. I thought it was the worst thing I've seen in months. I want my money back.
Yes.
Get out.
Do you
my money back.
Get out.
do you have YouTube TV? Were you watching this on YouTube Red? Were you getting exclusives?
No, because I'm poor, damn it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Well, I want to take the reins on this film because me and Tom started Dead Space like maybe a week or two before I started the original concept for Guns of Cortus. So he has been working on this film for a long time, and I still have maybe I'll release it sometime. I'll have to get him to sign off on it, but I have our first 3 Google Hangout meetings of us discussing of him telling me how he wanted Dead Space to go, what he was planning with Dead Space, and then I was bouncing ideas off of him about what we want to do for GOC, because Tom is the second most important part of Guns of Cordis, and even in the reboot he still will be. So if I can find those and release those, and if Tom gives me the go ahead, I will, because it's basically like a behind the scenes, but not a behind the scenes, because I think we talk about other crap too. But so for those of you guys, Trev, did you link it in chat for them?
Actually, Tom got to that before
of course.
I even did.
Nice self promo on top of it. I like it. And so
Hi, Penta.
hey, what's up, Penta? What's up, Shawarma? Basically, is like, first of all, it's a zombie film, but I honestly, up until, I watched Dead Space, and I always had hope that it would be great, but like, I am not a zombie brick film fan at all, unless it's Zombie Genesis and Exodus from Nick Duran.
Yeah, boy.
Then I'm okay with it. But like, the other things that I see, I'm just like, just stop raking in like clicks, because these are bad zombie films. This one, I was like, okay, first of all, the scientist, he better not be dead. There better be a follow up to Dead Space, because
dude, he hasn't watched the post credit scene, has he?
I haven't yet. I haven't watched post credit scene.
You have to
watch
go
the
watch
post
that.
credit scene, man.
Damn
That's
it.
the best bit. That
I'm
is
gonna
the
go
best.
watch it right now.
I think that's one of the first. Okay, Tom.
Bloody nailed that.
I think that's one of the first times I've actually ever seen like a post credit.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, I did see
scene,
this.
like Lego scene. Yeah, like it's one of the first times I think I've seen one. So
shout out to Matt. His CGI is good, but damn, like Captain Jack Sparrow the other week, the Emperor this week.
I do pretty good impressions, don't I?
This guy can do it.
Yeah.
That was a fun one to do, for
but
real.
like,
They sent me like 12 or 15 of the same line. He was just like, just pick one. Oh god, yeah.
Marcus, what's up, dude? It's like, I don't know, like so scientists aside though, like sequel is inevitable. It better be, or there will be blood.
2025.
Okay, I'll accept the 2025 release. I will accept that. But you have a ton of people who voiced in this project. One of those being Cougar McDowell, who was also Kedon Yoth in Guns of Cordis. Probably one of the most underrated but best voice actors that we have found as surrounding talent in a long time.
Besides me.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. I suck at voice
And he's
acting.
humble, dude.
Dude, I still love Jared's character. You know, he's tech, and he's just like, just the tone of his voice is just like, he's calm even in the midst of like high pressure situations.
Fun fact about Jared's character, actually,
and that's really what he needs to be for his character, because if your job is to slice a door,
be calm
while being shot at or being chased, you better be calm, because you need to focus.
Yeah. I did have the privilege of voicing Captain Stone. Probably one of my favorite parts to act out, just because I was reading the script, and I only had one criticism of this film, but we'll get to it later. But like, as I was reading the script, what, a year ago, and
probably longer.
And I was reading Stone's lines and saying them. I was imagining in my head what the scene was actually looking like, and even I like my heart rate was going up as I was recording those. And then like I purposely didn't really read the end of the script when I was recording, because I kind of wanted to save a little bit like of suspense for myself, because I had read the entire thing since. But Tom, very good writing, I had a blast doing all the lines. I tried to be as a method actor as possible. Be very in character.
I liked how one of your last lines in the film, where Captain Stone basically he's yelling to one of his troopers as he's chasing down another one of these zombie troopers. I forget what the line was, but I think the way you recorded it, you actually stepped back from the mic.
Yeah, I did.
It sounded like you were getting farther away.
Left to right as well. I tracked.
Oh, because you did the Doppler. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I had a blast on this project, but there was a bunch of other people, like we mentioned. Jared, Star Wars Studio 100 was in it. Matt, again, CGI God, did these wonderful shots for Dead Space, and we'll have Matt dive into that in a bit.
I gotta say, Matt, like there were some points where I couldn't distinguish that it was CGI. Like it looked, it like especially good in the video.
I was actually blown away on it, because when I was editing in Sony Movie Studio, I don't have it on full. I didn't have it on full quality.
Yeah.
And I because I saw that so much, I just sort of adapted to that. And then when I uploaded it to YouTube and I watched it, I was like, Jesus Christ,
he's one up himself. Oh my god.
As I've been saying for a while, like, you know, I'm really proud of the work that I did for this film. I think it's some of my best.
Oh, but it's not your best. Your best is coming up.
We'll see what happens. You know,
your best is coming up.
When and if Theta Squad is finally a thing, you guys will be in for another treat, because I've done some nice work for Austin here, and I'm looking forward to doing more as soon as I get the go.
Yeah, no, Theta Squad is gonna be dope.
Yep.
I liked Vector Bridge Crew #1, the guy that voice acted for him.
No, dude, I thought he was kind of shit. But it's okay.
I'm leaving. I'm legitimately gonna leave now. I'm gonna go cry in the corner over there.
Troll and Trueness mode on.
Oh, it's good to be back.
I wish he went away again.
So, Tom, is there anything you wanna say about, like, just the process of Dead Space and how that went down over the past year and a half?
Shout out to my voice actors. I actually had, so at one point or another, I've had 2 voice actors for the Doctor. I've had 2 voice actors for Tech. I've had 2 voice actors for Sergeant Hook. I've had a lot of voice actors. So shout out to all of them for all their time. I think everyone nailed it with the performances. Shout out to Matt and to Austin for the additional rendering. We'd probably still be rendering if didn't do that. And shout out to, I think I gave the initial script, because I wrote the story first before I wrote the script, and I gave that around to a couple of people and they gave me feedback on it, so shout out to them, my story group. And shout out to the fans for hanging in there for literally 2 years.
Yeah, dude, I was 18 when you started making that film.
Wow.
Yeah, damn. I was in first year of uni, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
No kidding.
I didn't even know who any of you were. I didn't know people existed.
I didn't know who Matt was.
Yeah, that's true. Matt was not even around.
Yeah, I was just this mystery guy who was like the original CGI guy in Austin's life at the time.
I
was all Tom knew of me.
Yeah. It was honestly it was Matt who did all my CGI. Matt taught me CGI, and then Matt disappeared, and then Tom came along, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. I've got another one who can do this. And then so Tom did the CGI for a couple of the things that I did. He did it for Beyond the Stars, and he did it for Strange Happenings.
Classic. Oh,
yes,
man.
Classic films.
That was one of the first That was one of the first videos of yours that I had seen, Austin.
Strange Happenings.
I remember. Oh man, and that's when the whole brick fair thing freaking happened.
Contact with Beyond the Stars. The reference footage Austin gave me for that CGI sequence, he's like, right, okay, I want the ship taking off from the city and flying to the moon. I want it to look just like Squad 42.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did do that.
And I was like,
did do
okay,
that.
you're asking me to make Gareth level CGI here. I mean, I'll give it a shot, but
No, he
The
did a good
world
job
is too small.
with
The
what
world
I
is too
gave him to work with. He did a really good job. And
Yeah.
you guys, anyone who has worked with me in depth on projects knows that I don't give anyone any kind of,
I was like,
so
you just make it look cool, man.
I've said it before, but this is the great thing about working on Dead Space, because Tom was so good about describing exactly what he wanted for these specific scenes, down to like, how he wanted the camera to move. He created this great storyboard for me. It was simple and crudely drawn, but it was enough. And it was more than Austin did for me.
Yeah, it's more than I've done for Matt in my entire life.
That's the thing. Like, you can't just, because Austin threw a little bit of money my way to do, some of this work, because a lot of it was really render intensive. And, the thing is, like, again, he didn't give me quite as much context as I wanted.
But but somehow you do exactly what I want and better.
Thank God I am
Matt
that creative, like in a tight spot, because the trouble is, like, if I render out the wrong thing for you, well, then
I have to redo it.
I've turned my computer into a toaster for a few hours for nothing.
But yeah, the only thing I have, any criticism I have going into Dead Space was, man, my dude, if there is a sequel with some zombies, you need to invest in some brick stuff lights. You have to.
Fair enough. Honestly, I was literally waiting. I was like, right, I've uploaded. It's been 15 seconds. Any day now, he's gonna crucify me for my walk cycles. I was getting down.
No, I let it go. I was like, honestly, dude, I was so happy to see the film out. I was like, I don't care. This is fine. This is fine. I'll take it.
I think secretly Austin's come to the realization that if someone does create a walk cycle that he likes, then he risks losing his crown as the guy with the best walk cycle, at least in his mind.
Well, I mean, anyone is welcome to dethrone me, but you won't. But, okay. Moving on. Again, Tom, excellent work. Was definitely worth the 2-year wait. And same for Squad 42. But with our remaining 25 minutes that we have, we're gonna jump in real quick and talk about Trev's film, My Unlucky Life.
Actually,
episode
wait,
5.
I need to interject before we start there.
Fine. I'm gonna go eat.
I meant to talk about this earlier, but then we kind of just jumped into everything before. I forgot after we jumped into everything. Bric-a-brac. We just announced. I'm basically turning into Chris right now. We announced our newest contest for this summer. The contest without voices. And actually, they just finished yesterday making a trailer of sorts for the contest, which both Chris and I voice acted in that as well. So go ahead and check that out. And I think entries have to be done by June 17th, if I remember correctly. And you're supposed to there's supposed to be no dialogue in the film whatsoever. And then kind of speaking of which, yesterday I also uploaded a video too. It's an update video about just stuff that's going on with me and my channel. And I'm going to be doing a Q&A soon, hopefully, if I can get enough questions to feasibly make a long enough video. So if you guys have questions for me, feel free to reach out to me on Discord and just use hashtag SNNP Q&A or whatever. And then also in the comment section of that video, you ask me some stuff over there too. And Austin, I swear, if you say what I think you're about to say, I don't look into the camera at all. I don't know why that happened. I made a joke about it in the friggin' description. You guys,
Trev, I have one word for you.
I
have one word for you. Solve all your problems. Easy.
I should have done that. I know.
It's so
I should have
true.
done. I should have pulled a
See?
Casey Neistat.
Yeah.
I should have pulled a Casey. Well, whatever.
Yeah,
There's always next time.
But no, so long as your Q&A, like, you know, like you're engaging with the audience and not like the picture of Black Widow that's like to the right of your camera, I guess, that you're looking at, we'll be good. We'll be good.
It wasn't Black Widow. It was Scarlet Witch, mommy.
Oh!
One of those podcasts.
JK.
But
I'm too young. I'm too young.
My Unlucky Live episode 5.
That's the real upload I made that I want people to watch, though.
It's been a bit since I watched it. But I can tell you that Trev, like, that was probably the smoothest animation you've ever done, I think. Your Aqua Island
It's probably the premiere
pretty
thing.
good.
It's probably because of premiere.
Did you know the soundtrack you were going to have before you shot it or after?
I didn't know specifically. I just knew the scripts and like kind of storyboarded what I wanted to do. I knew it was going to be classical music. So actually, I have the list. It's right here.
You cut it very well in that case because it like matched up with the music like spot on.
It really did. That was some great editing or just some, you know, brilliant coincidence. Either way.
Yeah, it literally was just super coincidental. I purposely kind of tried to shoot more than I needed, specifically for that reason, so that I would actually have enough footage in between little like bits of the song that I wanted it to sort of sync up with. But like I had 4 songs that I was looking at. I was going to do the William Tell Overture, Can Can, Waltz of the Flowers, or Ride of the Valkyries. And then I ended up going with the top 2 on that list, just because the other 2 didn't really like fit the feel of the song as much as I wanted. And now Tom is humming one of them.
That's a great song.
But yeah, I mean, literally, it was super coincidental, and I'm really happy that it like happened to work out the way I wanted it to. So yeah.
So
Nice.
let's talk a bit more about the animation in this film, because, you know, for those of you who don't know, if you have seen Trev's previous animations, you know, they pale in comparison to this.
Very
Although
subpar. Very Michael Hickok.
I think
it's number 1.
I think, you know, for the one reason that something I think he might not have picked up on until it was, you know, until these films were uploaded, was that I think the editing software that he was using, now he's using Premiere. Good call on that. But whatever he was using before, I think you said Sony Vegas, right?
Yeah. There was something that was just messed up with me trying to get like the frame rate to work.
I think
correctly.
it was cutting the frame rate down to 12, and so
Yeah.
it was just not doing, you know, your skill set justice. And the thing with episode 5 here is that, again, just watching this, like, literally continually, like, one thing after the other continued to blow my mind, you know, just because, again, not being able to see, you know, what kind of skill you had before, you know, I wasn't sure what to expect. But again, there's just so much to take in about this film. You know, you already look like a master of subtle movement. You know,
What? I'm sorry. What?
There wasn't anything subtle about that.
Oof.
honestly,
Oof.
like just little things, like just tiny movements that give things like the sleds, you know, the snow, all of it just feels so dynamic and like it has weight to it. And that's something you rarely see in, you know, amateur YouTube stop motions, just in general.
Don't do an amateur.
Your boy's an amateur.
Amateur.
Wow, you maybe, and that's being like, you know, like you're not professional until you're Tim Burton, like,
Yeah.
kind of level.
Or David Pagano. But Jared told me I was David Pagano, so you know, I think I'm professional enough.
Honestly, like my first thought after watching this was like, okay, this guy's got some serious skill. He could make some money off of this. Because, you know, what I didn't realize, you know, growing up, when, you know, before my dark age, before college, you know, I started to kind of, you know, get wary of becoming an animator, because I'm like, okay, well, what kind of market is there for stop motion? Not really. They don't make movies like this anymore. So I went into computer science and programming instead. However, now I feel like there's a comeback with stop motion because a lot of companies are using it in their online advertising. You know, it has, I mean, I cannot stand BuzzFeed. I mean, for the life of me, it is terrible. But I can't deny that their videos do have a certain aesthetic charm that gets clicks and stuff that gets people to watch it. You know, and I think stop motion has a very similar charm, and I think that's why advertisers are using that. Trev, my man, you could totally make money doing commissions.
That's what I want to do.
Clients,
to be honest,
like you know, just set up shop somewhere, you know, in
Alaska.
I'm not even gonna go into it. Not even gonna go into it. I'm not even gonna go into BuzzFeed. Nope.
Nope, not on this. Save it for the BuzzFeed.
Ask me privately.
But
my
honestly, believe it or not, Trev, I don't have anything, any criticism about My Unlucky Life. It was, it was very smooth. Was a fun watch. I forget when I watched it, but it was at one of the points where I just like I needed like a little like a pick me up. It was a really ideal film for that. So guys, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. I'm sure Trev has already linked it.
Please. I didn't even link my own video.
No,
right now. Oh shoot, I'm horrible.
It was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. Definitely the one from you, Trev. You know, Tom's Dead Space and Gareth's Squad 42 are definitely the best of the year for sure. I'm gonna have to throw 0 Hour up there in the top 5.
And actually, going back to what you said, Matt, about commissions and stuff, I talk about it a little bit in my update video, but I don't think I really talked about it enough in that. So this is also kind of going out to all you guys that are watching right now. I'm trying with my new film, Torment, which I have the logo back there for. It's supposed to be a film that's centered around a child that is going through this instance of being bullied very frequently at school. And I want to reach out to some like anti-bullying organization, or I really don't know who to reach out to. And that's kind of where I would need some help with that, as knowing of any companies that would be wanting, I don't know, a commission for something like that. Or I might even just enter it into like a contest for some like anti-bullying initiative. Really know what I'm going to do with it, but I'm hoping to potentially get a commission out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Remind me, Trev. I'll see what I can do to maybe put you in touch with my friend Seamus. He runs a YouTube channel called Freedom Tunes. I'm not sure if any of you in the audience have heard of it. He does libertarian political satire. It's hilarious. Pretty much come from any side of the aisle and you'll laugh. It's just funny.
You've told us about it before one time, or at least me. I think I remember you talking about it one time. So,
but he has he's based out of Georgia right now, and apparently he's found several clients down there in Savannah. So I'll have to figure out how he did that and pass that information on to you, Trev.
Yeah, it would be helpful. So yeah, if any of you guys out there have any suggestions or anything as to what I can do with that, that would be extremely helpful. No, Penta, I'm not selling it to BuzzFeed. I swear.
God, can we drop that, please? I'm sorry I mentioned it.
What's up, Tom?
Yeah.
No.
All right. So we've got a few more minutes before we are done for the season 3 finale. I can't believe. Wait, first of all, real quick, Tom and Matt. We're at 3 seasons. We're gonna go into our 4th season.
When did the first episode come out? It's like almost a year.
Over a year ago, I think. No. 10 months ago. 10 months ago.
Okay,
the
so
first season
like
came
June
out.
must have been then.
Yeah.
Did we start in June or July of last year?
Started in June.
June.
Ah, okay. So yeah.
Yeah.
A little over a month.
What a time to be alive, eh?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I've been watching you freaks for too long.
We've all taken our hiatuses and breaks from the show. That's why we brought on other co-hosts or hosts to continue like doing the stuff that we started. But since we're like this is the season 3 finale, it's just I just want to take a minute to recognize Tom and Matt, who actually like full honesty, like I remember like coming to Tom like even before we even started Frame100, Tom was like, "We need to do a podcast." And I was like, "Yeah, I know, but like what?" And then I think one day we're just like,
That's exactly how it happened as well.
yeah.
It's like, instead of saying, dude, we should make a band, I was like, dude, we should make a podcast.
Podcasts are like the modern day equivalent of stuff.
Yeah. And like after, I didn't expect season 1 to take off the way it did, and there wasn't really supposed to be any seasons. We kind of just started recording them live, and then it came to what it is, and just want to take time to just realize that like it really just came from 3 people, 2 people, whatever, just like wanting to talk about like Lego and stop motion, but on a little bit of a serious note that I wanted to hit. Tom, do you have something to say?
No.
Okay. Something I wanted to hit on, because I know I didn't get a chance to address this since I haven't really been on for like a month or so. I want everyone to know who's watching, and if people who are gonna miss this episode, if you guys could link it to the people who usually watch it to have them hear this part, that would be greatly appreciated. All of the hosts, me, Chris, Jared, Tom, Trev, all of us hosts have. Did I forget Matt?
You did. Yeah.
Oh
did.
shit. Okay,
It's
Matt.
just instinct at this point.
I literally forgot. I'm so sorry. And Matt.
It's all right. It's all right.
We all have our own, opinions on whether that be films, techniques, all that stuff. And I do know that I did, offend some people with some of my words in the earlier seasons, in the earlier episodes. And the rare times I apologize, I will apologize for that, just because I know that it sometimes comes across that we all are a collective mind that agree on everything together. I want to tell you guys that is not the case at all.
We
Absolutely not. And so
the Yanks don't know what they're saying.
Yeah, like so just remember that, like, my opinion, especially during the THAC stream, or the THAC review for the first episode of the season, just remember that, like, we kind of have these, like, not built-in roles, but like roles that we kind of all like have accepted. Like Chris is our good, positive, good vibes, everyone's a winner kind of person, and then I'm his polar opposite, being no, there are really bad people, and we need to make sure that everyone knows that they're bad. And then there are these good people who are really good, and we need to make sure that everyone knows that they are good. I'm like his polar opposite. Tom is a great mediator between the two. He's not a total terrible person like me, but he's honest, and we'll definitely say it in the British way, which is polite but also grossly insulting, but said in a polite way. And then we have Matt, who is one of probably I would call our analyst, if you will. Everything he says is pretty much calculated 100% of the time. And then you got people like Trev and Jared, who I kind of think are kind of all just like, hey, I'm just here to watch films and talk about them and build community. So we all have those different roles to play. So just remember that, like, if there's something that like you don't agree with, which is okay, like, remember that, like, I don't speak for Tom or anyone else in the room. And if you feel like like that's not the case, obviously say something, because going into next season, we're gonna have a lot of cool stuff going on, and I'm excited to reveal all that to you guys, and the team will be as well. Just remember that we are all like a big team of people and a lot of different ideas, and honestly, we clash probably 60% of the time.
And that's a good thing. That makes sure that we as a podcast remain a place that is for the free and open exchange of ideas.
Yeah,
that's important in this day and age.
But that's all I wanted to say regarding that. I cannot wait for season 4. Is there any teasers or things that any of you guys want to maybe drop a little bit of goodness for everyone before we wrap up today?
I have learned my lesson on building a hype train far too and okay, that's all from me.
The 2-year hype train is real. Although that train was very steady. Like, no one forgot. Like the train was steady. So
Yeah,
that
mainly because of that joke. Like,
that's true. When's Dead Space?
The only reason it's alive is because of the joke.
Trev, I guess you kind of promoted Torment already. I'm excited for that to see that.
I mean, well, what I was gonna say about what's coming in the future is no more face cam. Hopefully.
Oh,
it's
Yeah.
true. Though. It's
Yeah,
true.
we're changing. We're trying to work out. There's something through like Discord. There's like an overlay, a podcasting overlay you can do.
yeah.
And we're really trying to change the format of everything so it's a lot more adaptable.
Yeah.
We're hoping to potentially be able to even like show films while we're like reviewing them. Still haven't worked out all the kinks on that. That's what we were gonna do when we took that little hiatus.
It turned out to be a much bigger task than we anticipated.
Yeah, and we all ended up being a lot busier than we had expected at that point too. So yeah, things kind of fell through there.
Yeah, a lot of midterms happening around that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, but hopefully from here on in, we have some time to actually work everything out, and we should hopefully be able to have that up and running soon. I was the one who was working on it primarily, and then I think I kind of threw all the duties over to Chris, and then he ended up like changing everything.
And Chris got busy, so
yeah. So now
we
he's all graduated and stuff. But
yeah. So
what is he? Because I've seen Infinity War, and I'm wondering why is Chris not here?
Oh no!
Say it's not so. Oh no! I might actually cry. I don't feel so good.
We'll say that for the Avengers podcast.
Lol.
Matt, do you have anything you want to tease, or do you just
want to be Matt?
You'll see Matt when you see Matt. I feel like
so. Yeah, nothing new to really report with Republic at War Episode 2. What I'm really focused on right now is Brickworld Chicago prep. That's going to be next month, Father's Day weekend, June 16th and 17th for the public. If you can drop $55 on a registration, that means you can come, not when the rest of the public is there and it's a zoo. So, totally, guys, I'll be displaying with Rebel Lug, as I've stated before. So definitely come up, say hello, and check out what I'm showing off, because you don't want to miss it.
I will actually be there. My plans got moved, so I will be at Brickworld as well.
Man, I'm gonna feel like the only one who's not there. What the heck, bro?
I'm not there, mate. I'm not.
Yeah. Tom.
Hopefully,
we won't see Tom for what, 2 more years? For 2020. Yeah,
that's coming up.
Woo! Yeah, it's coming up.
I could write Dead Space 2 and get it out before then. I'm not going to.
But I could.
I could, yeah.
Also, speaking of Brickworld Chicago, I'm actually going to do this right after the stream finishes up. They're running their their 7th annual film festival. So if you're going to the event, you could win a couple more extra prizes, but it's open worldwide. So I'm actually going to be entering episode 5, coincidentally enough, for that.
Yeah. You may have heard that there's a theme associated with it, being seasons. That's just the theme for the entire convention. I think it's encouraged that you abide by the theme, but you don't have to.
Okay. Yeah.
So just so it's clear, you do not have to abide by the theme, I believe.
See, for me, it just happened to work out that with this film festival, it was seasons, and I just finished up a video that's all about the snow. And then right before BAB decides to talk about their voiceless film contest, I'm over here like, oh, look at this. I want to make a film that doesn't have any voices in it.
Dude, I can't
How
wait for that IRL
coincidental.
stream. I cannot wait for that IRL stream.
Dude, man, it'd be crazy, wouldn't it?
Trev will be 18 or 19 when we do that.
He'll have a beard.
Yeah.
I'll actually not look like a baby anymore.
Me, Matt, and Tom will be like 23 and 24 years old. But okay.
God. Where is my life going?
That's a bit too real. Don't start saying numbers. Jeez.
Yeah. But so just for me, real quick. So there hasn't been anything on my channel ever since the Theta Squad streams, and there probably will be one more video, not an update, Tom.
Don't make update videos; they screw up your eyes, bro.
There will be one video in a few days, talking about Theta Squad.
How to animate a cow.
Part 2. But so Theta Squad, even though Matt was like, when is it gonna be a thing? It is a thing. I have come across some very unfortunate health issues, so I will not be animating for probably the next month or so. So wow, so many texts. But I will when I can revisit it, which will probably be in about a month, it'll get done. Same for Sophia. I know there was a lot of hype for that. Came out of nowhere, but I'm excited for that. Matt plays a big role in that film as well.
That's another one of my great impressions.
Yes, Matt does.
no.
Matt is notorious for saying.
Matt. 2018 is Matt's year for voicing.
Yeah, I'm over here
Nervous.
aspiring to be like Matt and Chris, the men of a million voices. I suck. I'm useless, bro. Makes me sad.
Tom, take us out. I have a phone call. Take us out, Tom.
Okay, you've been listening to the Frame100 podcast season 3 finale. I've been joined by my co-host Trevor from Student Ninja Productions.
Hey.
Matt from Bricktail Studios.
And he's not gonna say anything.
What? This is his American impression that I've been waiting to hear.
No, this isn't it. The American one is better.
No.
And Austin from Frame100 Studios. He's waving. I'll do his voice. See you later, guys.